반짝이는 눈빛 눈이 부셔 매일 날 감싸주는 손길.
The factory manager of Eagle Brewing Company, Go Jang, was visited by his younger sister who said she would set him up on a blind date. Afterward, she spoke seriously to him. She told him about the money he had lent to Dong Seok years ago. Dong Seok had promised to pay it back quickly, but then he suddenly disappeared without any contact. She had been hurt by the betrayal, and now thinking back on it, she realized that the contract they had signed might still be valid. She asked Go Jang if there was anything they could do. Go Jang was surprised. It had been a long time and his sister had never mentioned it before. After a moment of silence, he stood up and said he would call Dong Seok directly. He was angry that Dong Seok had stolen money from their family and thought he could get away with it. Go Jang went to his room and dialed Dong Seok's number. The phone rang and after a while, Dong Seok answered. Go Jang told him it was time to repay the money he owed. For a moment, there was silence and then Dong Seok laughed mockingly, saying it was an old issue and he had no intention of paying it back. Go Jang was furious. He couldn't believe Dong Seok was still so shameless. Dong Seok refused to listen and finally he hung up the phone. Go Jang, frustrated, let out a long sigh and clenched his teeth. A few days later, bee leaves and court staff showed up at Dong Seok's mansion in black suits. Dong Seok was shocked and asked what was going on. The court staff explained that they had found the debt contract with Go Jang's sister. According to the terms, the amount owed, including interest, had grown larger than the value of his house. Dong Seok couldn't believe it. He was forced to sell his assets to pay off his debts and his business collapsed. Go Jang's sister received a large compensation, part of which she gave to her brother as thanks. However, Go Jang refused to accept the money, saying it should go to Ma Gwang Suk, who was struggling to keep the company afloat. As for Dong Seok, he didn't give up easily. He still smiled at press conferences and blamed his employees for the problems, thinking he could cover up all his wrongdoings. But things didn't go according to his plan. A few days later, an anonymous whistleblower sent footage to a TV station. The video showed a conversation between So Jong-mo and Dong Seok, where they were plotting to destroy Ma Gwang Suk. The story was broadcast as a breaking news report, and the public quickly turned against Dong Seok. The board of directors of Sheila Distillery held an emergency meeting and demanded his removal as CEO. They launched an investigation into the company's finances, and it was revealed that Dong Seok had been using company money for personal gain and engaging in illegal activities. The authorities arrested Dong Seok on charges of embezzlement and other crimes. He protested, claiming it was all a setup, but he was taken into custody. People who saw him being arrested shook their heads in disbelief. In the end, the court sentenced him to a long prison term, and the once powerful CEO became just another prisoner.
'Cause you are beautiful.